Hello one and all, it's great to have you back for another Explore Tulsa, and this week we start the show with Oklahoma's Biggest Loser.
Then the art of the guitar.
Followed by a station on its own.
Plus gold ball honors.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Thank you so much for joining us again for another episode of Explore Tulsa.
Well, here we are, 3.5 months into 2014, and time to check in to see if everyone's doing well on their New Year's resolution.
According to this year's study by the University of Scranton, only 45% of Americans will make a resolution.
And out of that, only 48% of them will continue past the 6-month mark.
And the #1 resolution is almost always losing weight.
And in Tulsa, we have our very own champ at doing just that, Danny Cahill.
Go! I'm never going to let you rest because I don't know how long you're going to be here. You're going to be here 2 weeks, you're going to be here all the way through. I'm going to make it where it feels like you're going to be gone tomorrow. Now get up.
The first letter I wrote my wife was, if I would have known it was this hard, I would have never tried out. And that was the absolute truth. The first workout was brutal. My first workout lasted 3.5 hours. I was 430 pounds. I was on the treadmill for 88 minutes before Jillian pulled me off to work me out. Then she threw me over to Bob and he kept me up there past everybody else. I thought I was going to die. But the crazy thing is I didn't. And that gave me a little bit of hope that if I can get through that, I can get through the next day. I'm Danny Cahill, and I was the winner in 2009 of Biggest Loser Season 8. I lost 239 pounds in 6.5 months. What inspired me to get on The Biggest Loser was I had to really find my reason why to lose the weight. I had lost weight a dozen times before, but I kept giving up and quitting because I wouldn't see the results. One day I'm sitting on the couch, my daughter walks in, says that I was her hero and she wanted to be just like me. And that made me feel good until she said she wanted a belly like mine. And that made me feel horrible and I got angry. Then I saw Biggest Loser, and I thought about all the times I had lost 20 or 30 pounds and given up, and I saw Jillian and Bob killing these people and thought, there's nowhere to run if you get on that show. So I said, that's what I'm gonna do. And I set the goal to win The Biggest Loser in 2008. When I was young, I was an athlete in high school, but I did struggle with my weight. There were only a few series of years that I kept weight off. I always struggled with it, but when I met my wife, I was about 175 pounds. She like kissed a prince, and then I turned into a frog. It was like backwards. It happened one decision at a time. It didn't happen overnight. It's a slow process. Just like getting back out of the hole you dig is a slow process. It happened by giving up on my goals and dreams one decision at a time, and I had to turn that around and start making the next right choice for myself that would get me out of that hole and closer to my dreams. It started with my why, with my family. It started about me saving my life so I wouldn't leave my kids and my wife without a husband, without a father. You know, I was afraid I was gonna die. I was on 4 medications. Crazy thing is, I get on The Biggest Loser, change my diet, start working out like crazy. 21 days, I'm off all 4 of my medications. The doctor took me off all of them because I got well, because your body wants to be well. Well, here's what happens. I start going through those weeks and find my struggles, and I start getting through these struggles, conquering these issues that I had, digging deep, finding these at the core of me, what was causing my obesity. But then when I started seeing the results, I started thinking, I can win this thing. And I thought, you know, I'm gonna win this thing. There was one time on the show when I said to the camera, I looked at the camera and I said, get ready because you're gonna see me on that scale and the confetti's gonna be falling on my shoulders. And I started getting that confidence. And that was my goal to start out, was to win it. But I didn't really believe I could till about week 6. That's when I started believing I could.
Look at that word believe, okay? Right there.
Do it! Press! One more.
Let's go. Pop it.
You know, in the end, it has to go beyond you. Somebody helped me, so it's my turn to help someone else. That's why I travel the world. I've been in 6 countries and 45 states, motivational speaking. And I do it because I know there are people out there just like me that had no hope. And what they need is to see, you know what, if Danny can lose 239 pounds in 210 days and get his dreams back, I can get my dreams back too. That's where it starts. It starts with just seeing that ray of hope, the light at the end of the tunnel. And when you're super obese or you're caught up in an addiction or you've been trying to start your business for 10 years and it just can't get traction, you start to lose that hope. That's why I do what I do, to keep people motivated and keep them moving toward their own dreams.
Danny's story is very inspiring, and according to the experts, spring is the best time to get into weight loss mode.
That's right, Stevie. Because the days are longer in April and May, exposing us to more sunlight, which helps to reduce our cravings for carbohydrates and other unhealthy foods.
Plus, this time of year, it just makes you want to get outside.
If that isn't incentive enough, visit Danny's website at DannyCahill.com and pick up one of his books along with other tips for weight loss and control.
Plus, the guy can play the heck out of a guitar.
If that's the case, then he might have a need for our next guest who actually makes guitars.
And when we come back, we'll learn a little bit about just how Seth Lee Jones is a master of his art when Explore Tulsa continues. Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got 2 great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life and see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our 2 locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I got to tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Ever since the first movie theaters opened in the early 1900s, man has been trying everything to bring that same experience home to enjoy with their families. And for more than 30 years, Video Revolution and their home entertainment experts have been making those dreams come true by designing custom home theater solutions for both in and outdoor use. From 1080p LEDs to the brand new Sony 4K flat panel TVs, or come in to see the latest in sound bars and surround sound setups. Always the top name brands are found at Video Revolution. That same electronic expertise we also apply to your business communications network, from boardroom automation to video wall presentations. No matter what technology the future holds, you can count on Video Revolution to be leading the way. Tulsa's headquarters for the best selection and installation of cutting-edge electronics. Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hi, it's good to have you still with us for more Explore Tulsa.
Many call the electric guitar the most important development of modern pop music.
We first saw it come on the scene in the 1930s, and today, guys like Seth Lee Jones have made building the guitar a true art form.
I want them all to have their own voice. You know, I don't want to make a bunch of guitars that sound the same. That's just kind of boring to me. I enjoy making them because I'm leaving a mark on the earth. You know, it's like doing the repair stuff. It's good, but I'm fixing something that's pre-existing. You know, they're not going to look back at my legacy and go, "Oh, he's the guy who fixed this thing." You know, I want them to look back and say, "He's the guy who made this thing." You know. But really what I'm after when I make one is I want them to play the best I can make them play, and I want them to be unique unto themselves. I want each one to be its own thing, you know. And for the most part, I've been able to achieve that. I think the first time I had a guitar in my hands was 12 years old, and I saw somebody play this guitar lick, and I watched them real close, and my mom was there picking up some music because she was a teacher, and then I went home, and my mom was in there, and she put her guitar down for a little bit, and I went over and picked up her guitar and played what I saw the guy play, and My mom came from the other room and was like, "What are you doing touching my guitar?" You know, but it was kind of one of those epiphany moments, like this aha moment for me, going to Roy and Candy's and watching this guy and going, "I think I can do that." It starts with materials, really. There's a whole lot of different woods that we use to make these. And then it starts in the kind of guitar that it's going to be. I predominantly stay with solid body and hollow body, flat top electrics, no arch top stuff. So the difference is really summed up in those two features, the materials and the style of build. And those things have a lot to do with the way the instruments sound. Sometimes the tools kind of take over the building of the instrument. You know, a lot of guys, in fact most guys that build guitars nowadays don't do most of the aspects by hand. I strive to do all parts of it by hand. I don't have a CNC machine in here, and I have no plans of getting one. And it's like I said earlier, I don't want to make a lot of the same thing. I want to make each one individual. It's art in my mind, you know. Why did I come back to Tulsa? This is excellent. Los Angeles has got a whole lot of people that live there, and there's a whole lot of talented people that live there. And a lot of situations like mine, you can't see the forest for the trees. And in order for me to grow artistically in what I do, I needed space to do it. So I needed to go somewhere that had affordable living and still had a music community that I could help out. So it was a no-brainer to come back here. I was born here, and just the stuff that's been happening the last 5 years, what with downtown being revitalized like it has, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in Tulsa, and it's affordable to live here. So I can afford the space to grow. You know, if I were still in Los Angeles, I'd still be working for somebody else. The amount of stuff, I can't stress enough, the amount of things I worked on in Los Angeles was astronomical. A lot of material went through my hands. And it's that 10,000 hours thing, you know, like once you do something enough, you finally start getting better and better and better at it, you know. I've had it beat into my head how to do this, you know, and now I teach other people how to do it. I teach at Tulsa Wood Arts, and I have an entry-level guitar building course over there. It's a 12-week deal, and they walk away with a working guitar that they made. I go to great lengths to pick out pieces of wood that have character. I drove to Kansas, the middle of nowhere, the other day to dig through probably 1,000 board feet of walnut and walked away with maybe 16 board feet. I want to make stuff that is unique, and I really don't want to use production stuff because it's just kind of against what I'm trying to create, you know. Like, it just depends on what you want to do with it. For me, I'm going to use the fancy tools to do it by hand.
Seth really loves his work. The instruments that come out of his studio are amazing. I wish I could make my own guitar.
Actually, you or anyone else can by taking Seth's guitar making course at TulsaWoodArts.com.
Or you can just let Seth make it and, you know, just get to jamming.
That's true too. Visit SLJGuitars.com to find out more about Seth's work.
And once you get one of Seth's guitar, all you need to do is get a radio station that'll play your jams for you.
Good idea, Stevie. Maybe we can learn more about that by visiting Tim Staley, General Manager of radio station KCFO. Next, when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
It's ORU like you've never seen before. ORU's Conference and Event Centers invites you to consider us for your next event. With over a dozen venue options and more than 40 years of putting on big shows, we're confident we have just the right venue solution for you. ORU's Conference and Event Services is a full-service operation catering to the needs of the university and the community of Tulsa. Getting married? Then the Prayer Gardens or Christ Chapel can accommodate any size wedding party. Or if your event is all business, ORU has the finest conference, banquet facilities, and equipment in all of Oklahoma. And we have plenty of fun too, with summer camps covering volleyball, soccer, swimming, baseball, and more. Call and find out how ORU Conference and Event Services can be your all-inclusive event venue. 918-495-6400.
If you're a fan of Dave Ramsey, then you'll be very familiar with our next stop on Explore Tulsa.
That's right, Stevie. The Dave Ramsey Show can be heard weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m. each weekday on one of Tulsa's only standalone radio stations, KCFO.
AM 970 on the old radio dial. With over 30 radio stations in Tulsa, KCFO is one of a handful that aren't owned by one of those big, huge broadcast groups.
Ken Staley and his staff take great pride in their one-of-a-kind operation and the wholesome entertainment they provide.
The station is owned by Friendship Broadcasting, and we are an odd duck in the broadcast community. We are not part of a cluster. The man that owns us, we're the only station he owns. He's a successful businessman. He's owned real estate and different subdivisions and restaurants and so forth. But we're his only radio station, and has been that way now for 20 to 25 years, somewhere in that area. This station 970 is the heritage station. Used to be KAKC, the Rockin' 97, back in the 50s and 60s, and at one time was the #1 station in town. We're very small staffed, and we do things condensed and do them well. I've been here for 27 years. And in that time, we've started out as an all-Christian Bible teaching station 24/7. We've morphed in the last 5 years into some general market talk, which has helped us a great deal as far as ratings and increasing listenership. We added Dave Ramsey about 5 years ago. And then we also have Mike Gallagher, who is a conservative guy out of New York, who originally is from Texas. And so that rounds out our afternoons. We have Dr. Asa on at night, which is a live call-in health show. And then we carry for 15 years now the Arkansas Razorbacks. So that's what we do. We've rounded it out over the years, and we'll be adding some more things in the months and years to come. As an older guy, I miss the days of a live staff member on the air spinning records or talking or whatever. And so it's changed quite a bit that way. But profitable wise, we automate everything. And we leave here at 5 o'clock, 5:15, and we don't come back until the next morning. And on the weekends, Friday at 5, and we're not back again until Monday, and the whole thing runs itself quite well because of automation. Very affordable. So it's good for us from that standpoint. But as far as a music station, we're an all-talk station. As far as a music station goes, to me it's a little sad because, I can go back to Eastern Ohio to visit my in-laws and actually hear some of the guys that are here in Tulsa on the radio stations back there because they're voice tracking, which means there's not a lot of young guys going into radio anymore. And that's not a good thing. There's not many people willing to take on what we do, and the fact of being committed to evangelical teaching on the radio every morning. We don't try to compete in that regard. We like to call ourselves the Aikens or the Whole Foods or the Sprouts of radio. We are a health food deal. We don't do the volume that Walmart or Reese's does, but none of those stores, Sprouts or Whole Foods or Aikens, have anything to hang their head about because they specialize in a certain area. And that's what we do. We specialize in a certain area that's very much needed. And as we go on in time, what we do as far as that teaching is concerned will become more necessary in the days to come than it's ever been before.
Stevie, did KCFO remind you of the first radio station you ever worked in?
Oh no, KCFO was way nicer. The first station I ever worked in was a mobile home with an old golden retriever that after, a few songs I'd have to let her out to go potty.
To learn more about their lineup, visit kcfo.com or set your radio to AM 970.
I enjoy listening to Doc Blevins on KCFO, and I've always been a big fan of his coverage of Union sports.
Oh, glad you mentioned Union, because our next stop is to catch up with this year's 6A basketball state champs when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Persimmon Hollow Village and Flea Market. Come and join us for the annual Spring Fleeing Arts and Crafts Festival. Friday and Saturday, April 12th and 13th, 9 to 5 both days. Shop 15 buildings on 3 acres. Free admission and parking's free too. Find us 1 block east of 71st and Garnett, behind the Salvation Army store. Y'all come out and see us now.
With the NBA playoff action ready to start, Explore Tulsa once again congratulates the Oklahoma City Thunder for clinching yet another playoff berth.
And we're excited to feature this year's 6A state champs, the Union Redskins.
It's the 3rd championship in 10 years, so I guess you could say we're on the map, as far as maybe somewhat basketball type school. I know we're known as a football school, but I think it's good for other programs to get recognized. But as a coach, you're always kind of looking at those benchmarks to see where you're at and maybe measure your success as a coach. But I think the biggest thing with your success is not always the winning, is the relationships with the kids, and what after basketball, after they're out of school, they come back, they see you, and you still have those relationships to know, hey, I'm still your friend. If you need help, we'll be there for you. My name's Rudy Garcia. I'm the head coach at Union High School.
It was really just like a dream come true, because we won at our 2012 season when I was a sophomore, but I played a little bit, but I didn't play like I didn't feel like it was really just my ring that I won myself. And this senior year, it really felt like just something we really earned as a senior season team.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to leave a legacy. Coach talked about leaving a legacy, what kind we wanted to leave, and I think what pushed us was all the talk of people telling us we couldn't make it. So I think we definitely proved a point there.
It's exciting, especially for our kids, and knowing as a coach, especially with our administration, starting at the top with Dr. Harsler, all the way through, that they support the programs and they're behind us, and then the community gets behind us. And we do our youth camps during the summer. We have a lot of kids come through, and it's good for those little kids to see the end product of what it might be if they get a chance to continue playing, and when they're in high school, maybe be one of those guys out there, because our guys work the camps, and so it's good to get out in the community and have these kids see them and get the community behind us and support us throughout the year.
I still remember when I was just a little kid going to the little dribblers camps in the summer, seeing Coach Garcia and just thinking, man, I want to play for that guy. I don't really know any other coach in Oklahoma at that 6A level that's reached those marks, but I'm sure there's quite a few guys that have won a lot of games. But I mean, Coach Garcia, when you hear his name, you know a lot of accomplishments he's really done. He's done quite a bit in his career at Union.
It's exciting because I remember when he was coming to camp, he'd wear, Steve Nash jerseys, different, teams, and I know as a little guy, everybody kind of just gravitated to him because of what he brought to the gym at camp and things. And so it's great to see when, like I said, those guys that came through that you started out with when they were just little, and then, like I said, end up with a gold ball.
Our senior team, we actually Basically, the whole seniors had our own AAU team, except for like 2 players. So we played 2 summers together, which really brought us close, and we got familiar with one another. So
we've been playing with each other since about 7th, 8th grade, and a lot of us, like a lot of main guys, played on the same AAU team all summer, and so we've had really great cohesiveness and just chemistry as a team and a family since really just 8th grade. I knew we had a chance to really do something special and be great. A lot of people really picked us to be the team to actually have a shot at winning the thing.
You know, when I first got the job at Union, I didn't know what to expect. You know, I was a baseball player in college, and so I was coaching all those sports here, and I was fortunate enough to get the basketball job. And so, you know, when I told my wife if I could last 5 years as the head coach, you know, I feel like I did something. And if I got to 10, you know, I really feel like maybe, you know, I've accomplished something. Now I'm here, you know, this is my 19th year. And, you know, you get to those milestones with wins and things, and you can't do it without great assistance. I've had some great assistance through the years. And then players, you know, you got to have some players to reach that and win games. And I know basketball is an important piece, and there's so much emphasis on winning, but you got to realize, you know, that you're not going to win all the time. It's what lessons you can learn that you can take out in the real world. Because, you know, when you get to the real world, you're going to have adversity. I think that's the biggest thing, is learn how to deal with adversity, because you're going to have some at some point in your life, and how you deal with it's going to dictate what you do in life. And I think hopefully they've learned through the years that we've put them through some situations, and they've been in some situations. They can learn how to deal with things when they get out in the real world, or when they go play at the next level, as to how they're going to have to deal with different situations as they go. So, you know, hopefully, and then just to care for one another and know that we're there for them.
19 years as a Union coach and 3 championships. I love watching Coach Garcia at work. Very intensive on the court and a fun guy after the buzzer too. Probably why he's been selected as the 2014 National Coach of the Year finalist.
Plus, the Redskins will be honored later this month by the Max Preps Tour of Champions.
Stick around, there's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
At Video Revolution, we've got
today's 3D technology,
smart TVs, and I can help you pick the one that's a larger size TV.
We handle it all here at Video Revolution.
Now people can get
a 90-inch TV.
Locally owned and operated.
Now coming up on a 30-year anniversary.
Customer service is our priority. We have our own service center.
It just brings back enjoyment to watching TV.
And now it's affordable for everybody.
And we sell fun stuff.
It's like toys for big kids. Customers that come into Video Revolution are blown away.
Be sure and join us next week when we meet Tom of Premier Popcorn.
We want to thank Biggest Loser champion Danny Cahill for joining us and being such an inspiration for fitness everywhere.
Thanks too to Seth Lee Jones for making those amazing guitars, and to Ken Staley and his staff at KCFO for keeping the fire burning.
Plus, thanks to Coach Rudy Garcia and the Union Redskins. Congratulations on your big win and another gold ball.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the 2 pair for a $129 deal. 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.